Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Devastated Savannah Chrisley had party planned for Julie's homecoming. Savannah Chrisley is devastated after she had a welcome home party planned for her mother, Julie Chrisley. It seems that she thought she was going to get out of prison. However, that was not the case. This is a difficult time for their family. Savannah has made it clear that she will not stop fighting for her parents' freedom. Keep reading to find out more about this. Todd and Julie Chrisley in prison. Todd and Julie Chrisley are currently in federal prison. This is for tax evasion and fraud. Fans were shocked to hear this when it happened. However, their family has been fighting for their freedom since the day they were arrested. Julie Chrisley got a resentencing hearing. This was due to them having insufficient evidence. However, the hearing did not go as they had hoped. She was sentenced to the same amount of time. Her family was hoping that their mother would get released early. Unfortunately, that was not going to happen. Savannah Chrisley is devastated. Savannah Chrisley is devastated after her mother's hearing. Unfortunately, Savannah had planned a party for her mother. Savannah's family wants her to tone down a bit when it comes to publicly speaking about the case. However, that is not going to happen. She will continue to fight for her parents' freedom. It seems that her family thinks she is doing too much publicly with this case. However, Savannah has made it clear that she is going to be transparent with her fans. Even though her family told her to cool down, fans do not see her listening anytime soon. However, Savannah was devastated after she planned this party for her mother, and it did not work out. Savannah Chrisley sat at the edge of the velvet couch, a white envelope clutched tightly in her hand. Her perfectly manicured nails, glittery and pink, pressed against the thick cardstock as if holding it any looser would make everything unravel. The envelope was addressed in her loopy cursive, "Welcome home, Mom." Tears welled in her eyes. She blinked hard, trying not to ruin the makeup she carefully applied that morning, just in case the cameras came by for a quick interview. But they didn't. The only guests arriving at the Chrisley residence today were memories, echoing footsteps, and wilted hope. She had been planning this party for months, ever since whispers began that Julie Chrisley, her mother and best friend, might be granted early release from prison on good behavior. Savannah had dared to believe in a happy ending. She created Pinterest boards filled with themes like Southern elegance and freedom and family. She even reached out to Julie's favorite baker in Nashville to commission a custom cake. 3 tiers, red velvet, shaped like a gavel-crushing prison bars. Instead, a call from the family attorney had shattered it all. "Not happening," he said grimly. "They're keeping her. Bureaucratic red tape. Maybe even another review in 6 months." Savannah had stood frozen in her kitchen, holding the phone with trembling hands while the scent of fried green tomatoes lingered in the air. Her mom's favorite snack, which she'd made just in time for the big day. Now every streamer hanging from the ceiling felt like a cruel joke. The "Welcome Back, Julie" sign drooped from one corner, as if even a tape had given up. Grayson wandered in, eyes red but pretending they weren't. "Sav," he said, his voice low, "do you want me to take the decorations down?" "No," she replied hoarsely. "Leave them up." He nodded, not understanding but respecting the space she needed. Chloe skipped in moments later, not old enough to understand the gravity of the news. She twirled beneath a gold balloon and giggled. "Is Nana here yet?" Savannah swallowed hard. "Not yet, sweetie." But "not yet" didn't feel like truth. It felt like denial. Weeks earlier, Savannah had gone full throttle into party planning mode, determined to make her mom's return a day to remember. She contacted a local string quartet to play Julie's favorite gospel hymns. She ordered custom napkins that read, "Resilience runs in the Chrisley bloodline." Even Todd, still behind bars himself, had written a heartfelt message for Savannah to read aloud in his absence. The guest list had been a tight circle: family, a few trusted friends, and some members of Julie's former church group. Nanny Faye, ever the firecracker, had offered to host the after-party poker night and even dusted off a bottle of medicinal bourbon she swore she was saving for a miracle. And now? The food was catered, the flowers arranged, the backyard tinted. And Julie was still sitting in a federal glass door and stepped out into the backyard. The July sun bore down in sticky waves, and a banner that read "Free at Last" fluttered in the humid breeze. Beneath it sat a long table covered in pink and gold linens, place cards that said things like "Mama's Spot" and "Close Corner perfectly aligned." In the center of the table stood a chair draped with a white throw, embroidered with Julie's throne. Savannah had planned a whole surprise moment where Julie would walk in, not knowing the chair was for her, and everyone would cheer. She'd even hired a videographer to capture the raw emotion of that moment. But now the chair sat empty, as if waiting for a queen who'd missed her coronation. She heard a familiar voice behind her, Nanny Faye, stubborn and soft-hearted as ever. "I say we have the dang party anyway," the older woman said, lighting up a cigarette despite the heat. "Your mama might not be here, but love don't get canceled, honey, not in this family." Savannah turned, her eyes puffy. "It doesn't feel right without her." "Well, it ain't," Nanny Faye admitted. "But we've done a lot of things that didn't feel right lately. This one's for hope." Savannah nodded slowly, staring again at the chair. The guests came, hesitant at first, but they came. Church ladies arrived with casserole dishes they'd prepped anyway. Friends dropped by, hugged Savannah hard, and lingered longer than they intended. Chloe handed out homemade freedom bracelets she'd made from beads and yarn. The gospel quartet played softly in the background. Savannah stood beneath the banner and read Todd's letter, her voice trembling. "Julie, my angel, if love could open prison doors, you'd be home already. We wait for you with open arms and full hearts. Until then, know we celebrate you not because you're here, but because you're ours." By the time she finished, even the butterflies seemed to pause mid-flight. Later that night, long after the last guest left and the sun dipped below the Tennessee trees, Savannah sat alone on the porch swing. Her phone buzzed. A call from an unfamiliar number. She answered cautiously. "Hello?" "Hey, baby," came the voice, tired but warm. "Mom?" Savannah nearly dropped the phone. "I was allowed to make a quick call," Julie said. "Heard you went ahead with the party." Savannah choked back a sob. "It wasn't the same without you." "I'm glad you did it," Julie said. "I felt it. Even from in here, I really did." The call ended too quickly, but it was enough to spark something in Savannah's chest, a flicker of joy, a reminder that not all celebrations are about presents. Some are about spirit. And though Julie hadn't made it home that day, Savannah realized something else. Her mother had never truly left, not from her thoughts, not from her heart, and certainly not from the family who would keep throwing the party year after year until one day the guest of honor walked through the door at last. Ask ChatGPT.